Collector's guilt is such a strange idea. By being a collector, we often focus on certain releases. We want the best of editions. The limited edition mark, as I've said countless times, is something that draws us in. We have FOMO as well to really just compound the idea of wanting things. And sometimes there can be situations where you have a little bit of guilt about your collection. It could be guilt that there's something you have not picked up. It could be that there is guilt because there's something that you paid over the odds for. You were caught up in the further, really wanting of something that you chased after so much and ended up going to the dreaded dun 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 scalpers of eBay and paying way too much for a movie. It could be as simple as buying all these films and just not watching them. Collector's guilt comes in many formats. You know, one of the things that when I look at myself and my collection, I had several issues with. Now, I've mentioned before that I now watch everything I buy. This was not always the case, and quite often I was collecting movies for the sake of collecting. Not because I was desperate to watch the movies. And it's a shameful thing to admit that I was just picking things up for the sake of picking things up. Now, I'm trying to rectify that by going back into my catalogue and watching through some of these titles, but there are still things that I feel a little bit guilty about. We buy these movies. Sometimes if you have a YouTube channel, you come on and talk about them and you list off all the wonderful extras that come with these editions. More often than not, I don't go through too much of the extras. There's certain discs where I just devour everything. But that's not, I can't physically do that with every disc. I just don't have the time. You know, I'd love to go back and check out commentaries. It's a choice between watching a movie or rewatching one with a commentary. I'm going to watch a new movie. All these lavish extras that people sing and praise about, do we sit down and watch them all? Now, I know I'm a habit of checking out some things. I love video essays. I'm always going to check them out. Some of the makings of, I'm not as interested. It depends on the film. Most recent disc that I devoured everything from was probably Host, the Second Sight movie. I loved that. I wanted to listen to the commentaries. I wanted to see the interviews with the cast. I wanted to see the making of. It was all fascinating to me. But that's one of the rare discs that I've actually sat down and devoured. So collector's guilt for me comes in the form of not taking advantage of what these discs have to offer. And there's also that compulsion to buy. You know, I have a collection. If I didn't buy another movie this year, I would have more than enough to keep me going, watching movies at the rate I'm watching them at. And that feels a little bit frustrating. You know, that I've wasted a lot of time buying things and not watching them. And now I'm kind of stuck in the rut of wanting new movies that are released and still wanting to delve into my back catalogue of films to check them out. But that comes down to the collectors again, because a lot of the things are limited. A lot of the things will sell out fast, and it's up to you whether you are willing to give all these releases a miss and focus on your collection. And then once you're done, you could want these titles and end up going down the scalper route and causing yourself more issues. Collector's guilt for me as well, because we're focusing on my weird habits, comes in the form of some of these limited editions. There is this strange mindset which I've now broken out of since 1st of January 2020, where these things are valued at a certain price. They're worth money. As soon as they sell out, they exponentially start to jump up. In fact, while they're still available, scalpers on eBay are already charging ridiculous prices for these things. And there becomes the crux of the problem. On one hand, you have a movie that you really wanted. You want to check it out. Maybe you do want to devour the extras on this disc, but by opening that package, you're then going to devalue it. So what do you do? I have done crazy things as a collector, and it's something that I do feel kind of guilty about. I have the Black Sunday Steelbook from Arrow. I really wanted to watch that because I was enjoying a Bava range of movies that I was going through. So did I open it and watch it? No, I did not. I then bought Black Sunday in an Arrow sale for £5 so I could watch it. I now have 2 copies of the movie, the exact same disc, one with a steelbook case that's sealed and one with an amory that is open. This is futility at its peak. It seems pointless. It's something I am struggling with. If I had common sense, if I had the will to follow through on my rambling rant videos, I should take that, put it on eBay and get money for it. Why? Because I'm never going to use it. Sure, I enjoy looking at the cover, but I don't come in here often to look at it. Rarely do I pull it out and look at it. But because it's worth money, it seems to add value to the collection. But it's only valuable while somebody's willing to pay for it. And sooner or later there will be another edition of Black Sunday that will come out and devalue that one. And I'll have missed my opportunity to sell it. So why can't I just put it on eBay and sell it just now? Why can't I pass it on to someone who A, is willing to pay for it, and B, maybe is going to love it more than I do, who maybe wants it because that's the edition that they really wanted, who's going to use it. Collector's guilt plays with you a lot. It kind of gets to you in the back of your mind. It rattles around there and kind of causes little bits of problems. But the limited edition ones are something that I really struggle with. I've got lots on my shelves that are unopened, but everything after 2020 has been opened. Thankfully, I'm starting to break away from that. But I still struggle to go back and open these sets up. And it makes me wonder, what other kind of guilt is there out there? So, buying too much, buying things that I just don't need, not watching the extras, not opening certain limited editions. These are all things that as a collector prey on my mind sometimes, that make me take a step back and go, what are we doing? Am I buying too many movies? Am I too broadly scattershot with what I want? Should I be more laser focused? The problem I have is I tend to love a little bit of everything, and I want to experience a little bit of everything. I don't want to miss out. That fear of missing out yet again. So it's something I'm toying with doing, is going through the collection at some point and trying to do something with it. I'm going to have to. Things are getting worse on a storage level space. It can't continue. I made a video about space 2 months ago and things have only got worse since then, so I'm going to have to deal with the situation. And you guys will be along for the journey. But I want to know, as a collector, is there anything that you're guilty of? Is there any decisions you've made, whether it be an expensive purchase, whether it be buying that disc you really wanted and then never opening it? Let me know in the comment box other kinds of issues, because I love to hear the fact that I'm not the only one in this boat. I know some of you are far better than myself, who are more, I'd say more better collectors who only buy the movies that they want. But again, that comes down to me wanting to blind buy a lot. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.